So on the inverse practice sheet, I put together some examples that I think can help, the kind of questions they put on the AP exam. On the front, I've put the theorem in 3 versions, the way that I like to say it, the way your book says it, and the way Rogowski says it. Easier to read in the original than on my reprint, but then you have it. So here's the first set of questions. It says, use the given information to find the derivative of f inverse at A. So this f inverse is what I've been calling G. So f inverse, which I've been calling G. So, but you should be able to work with it either way. All right, so I'm going to call it G for now. Slightly less confusing, a little bit easier to write. We want the derivative of G at A equals 2, so we're really looking for G prime of 2, right? So according to the theory, that's going to be 1 over f prime of whatever x would give me 2 from f. So that's why you have this additional information, without which you can't really solve the problem. Although, it would be too hard to figure out, like, how would I get 2 for my value of f of x if I had to solve 2 equals x cubed plus 3 sine x plus 2 cosine x. Could I figure out that x equals 0? Probably, just by sort of looking at it and thinking of it. This is the x and this is the y in terms of the way I've been writing it. All right, so that's 1 over f prime of 0. So then all I have to do is find f prime. So I'm going to look at what f prime is. So f prime of x is 3x squared plus 3 cosine x minus 2 sine x. I need to know f prime of 0, so I'll find f prime of 0, which is 0 plus 3 minus 0, so that's 3. And that tells me that 1 over f prime of 0 is 1/3. Ba-ding! Okay, next problem I have, I'm gonna jump down. So, these all go sort of the same way. You can infer how to do these from that. AP exam loves to give you tables. That way you have no chance to be able to actually solve for the inverse function. We just got to go off the table. Okay, find the derivative of f inverse at a equals 3 is what we're going to do at 4a. So 4a, in terms of, letting G be f inverse, just to make it easier to write, so I don't have to write f inverse prime. That's the only reason I'm doing that. So then what we're really looking for is G prime of -3. All right, so what I know is that that's 1 over f prime of x, where y equals f of x, that y being -3. -3 equals f of x. All right, so what x is going to give me -3 for an f of x? So I look at the chart. The x that gives me -3 for an f of x is 2. So this is really like doing inverse function. So f of -3 is 0. F inverse of -3 is we just read the chart backwards and pick up the 2. All right, x equals 2. So I'm really looking for 1 over f prime of 2. And then I just look on the chart and say, what's f prime of 2? Well, here's 2, here's f prime, it's 1/4. All right, so I have 1 over 1/4, so that equals 4. That's the kind of thing you got to do. All right, so homework on this. I wrote down somewhere over here. Our homework for this bit about the inverses is going to be Rogowski 181, number 11 and 12. I did 9 and 10. You get to do 11 and 12. And the rest of the inverse practice worksheet. So all of this will be posted on the Google Classroom, including a complete summary of the homework, since I split it up over 2 parts.